What's going on? Welcome to Totally Blitz Podcast. We're talking UFC Vegas 47 or 67, 68. I can't remember at this point.
It's 67.
67. Strickland versus Imanov. These are your hosts. Before we get into it, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, drop your comment of your recap of this card. I'm Paul. Pick 'em, win 'em, Concha. I'm finishing my beer. Who's with me?
You already know, man. It's your boy Kev, slightly drunk Savoy. I like that. But just we talking some real fade and shit. And this was a fun card, man. No cap.
Yeah, I mean, like Umar's first main card debut. We got to see that. I did say it may be a challenge, but it wasn't a challenge. And Sean Strickland, back to back not pay per view, but back to back main eventer. You don't see that often. And I mean, I made some pretty good money on this card as well. So I can't be too mad at it. How about you, Kev?
This card was fucking lit, man. The live stream was fun as fuck for this card. I mean, I came in late. Like I probably came in the second Umar got the knee. And this shit was a good card. Like just to start off the year, definitely a great card.
Shout out our French people. They're definitely in the chat for the Romeo comedian Romeo Mac live stream. And if you're followed us, subscribed to us from there, shout out to you. But yeah, it was like 40, 50 people deep at some points. And the best part was people talking. Like, and they were in France. They were talking shit to France. France was talking shit to us. It was
Yeah, it got to the point that motherfuckers was talking about Napoleon and motherfucking Germany and shit, the wars, D-Day. Like, I was like, damn, like, hold on. We really talking that shit with French boys.
Yeah, like it was a good ass card. And shout out to y'all because it was like 3, 4 in the morning for them boys, and they were watching their boy Imanov. They didn't watch him win, but they were watching him. And hey, and that should say something about the French people because like we had UFC France or Paris last year, and this was not Cyril gone, but yet these people were up 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning watching their boy main event.
Dead ass. It was a great fucking card, man. No lie.
We can start with the Umar. You said it already. The knee. It was vicious. It was 4 minutes. It was the first round finish. He catches him. They're getting kind of close towards almost maybe a clinch, and then bang, fucking knee to the jaw, and Barcelos is out. The fight didn't need anything else.
Nah, dude explained it. That was the fight. Like, Umar came in and he really showed out, like, yo, I'm a fucking Omega Medov. Like, he just set it up. He was just slowly waiting for it. You could tell he was looking, he was staying patient. He didn't force anything. He got 36 significant strikes in that one round. Like, he was ready coming in, just ready to come in and fuck some shit up. And Barcelos had to get it. And if that's what you said, I think Barcelos is no bitch either. Like, I really feel like Barcelos came here ready to fight, but Umar Nurmagomedov is a future top five contender in this weight class.
Two things I saw because Barcelos is somebody who likes to fucking throw punches. Like he will knock you out. He loves that brawl. So like it showed me that Nurmagomedov's stand up is so clean and crisp that like if you're just here throwing some shit, you're not gonna hit me. I'm gonna outclass you. And we never even got to see him even. I don't think he shot for a takedown the whole fight, and didn't need it. So it was like Umar may be a different level than some of these like Habib and Islam, only because he can do what they do, but he can also outbox you from what it looks like right now. So which is the scare. He may be the scariest Nurmagomedov and out of all of them.
Definitely, but I do like my dog said because he be kicking the shit out of motherfuckers.
See, but that's why Umar can mix in what said can do with the background of like, oh, if I want to take you down for 20 minutes, I'll take you down for 20 minutes.
Like, yeah, he like the doggy standing Warriors, man. It's another one.
Then we didn't talk this on the pre-fight, but I gotta shout out these women because it was a hell of a fight at bantamweight between Kaylin Vieira and Raquel Pennington.
Which fight? Is this the one that won fight of the night? Who won fight of the night?
I believe this is the one I won fight of the night. It went all the rounds. It was a split decision to Pennington because it really was both ways. Like, so Vieira had the takedown, well, not takedown, but this control time and the clinching stuff. But when it came to like significant strikes, Pennington was the one that was landing the better strikes and more powerful strikes. So it was a great fight all around because they both brought their A game, and that's what you love to see.
Nah, definitely. I mean, Raquel Pennington definitely. I liked her style. She kept coming forward. She never put her hands down, and she just kept staying ready to box the fuck out your ass. And that's what got her to win. I feel like when it came to damage, she had, even though Caitlin Vieira, in my eyes, would have, and if I was a judge, I would have felt like she controlled the fight and she had a stronger fight. But with Raquel Pennington, she just kept throwing them punches. She kept throwing it, and it looked like they were hurting Vieira. So I personally would have picked Vieira to win this fight, but I can understand that Pellington got the decision because you can't, like Dana White said, you can't just sit there on the third round and put somebody on the cage thinking that's gonna get you the dub. You don't know what these judges have been scoring. So shout out to Pennington for winning this fight. But it was really so disrespectful on the live stream. This boy, comedian Roman Mack, is the battle of the out of shapes, like motherfucking like
Damn.
Vieira was like number 2, and like Pennington was number 5, and Pennington had like a little jiggle. So I was just sitting there, God damn. But at the end of the day, they both look like they hit hard as fuck. So it goes either way. And I want to see what this does to the division now, because Vieira was actually number 2. It looks like if she had won this fight, she would have got the championship fight with Nunez, because Pena just got demolished.
Yeah, no, that's facts. Pennington also 15-9. A lot of people wrote her off because she lost a lot of fights early in her career. She's putting up a little run that, like, we need new names in the fight in the championship fight. So wouldn't be shocked to see.
It's crazy, because honestly, none of them boys even fight. Keep it like that showed me how fine Nunez is. Because I'm looking like this is the rest. This is like the number. Like this is probably like the closest. This is probably like if it's not a title contender shot, it's a title contender eliminator. Like, oh yeah, Nunez is dominant. It's gonna be a dominant champ for a while.
And then our next fight was Kopilov. There's Wayne and ass whooping on Soriano. Like it was one sided from the first round. I thought the fight maybe was almost getting close to stopping the first round. It wasn't a knockdown or anything, but the Kopilov was in this dominant control. Second round, he gets the stoppage, get the TKO, kick to finish it. But like 10-2 middleweight, like the middleweight division has been stagnant for years, but there's some young talent that's slowly creeping up in this middleweight division to keep your eye on it. He's definitely one of them.
Kopylov versus Soriano was a great fight. I mean, Kopylov, it was cool, right? Because you texted him, you said, "Yo, Kopylov spinning back fist, thing of beauty." Next thing, spinning back kick, thing of beauty. And I look up, it happens, and then like a minute later, it happens on Romeo Max screen, and he's like, "Oh, that was fine." I was like, "Yeah, that
Right
was
to
tough."
the chest, bro. Like he put that spinning back kick right to the stomach. I'm surprised that, like, when I saw that, I thought he was gonna, like, the fight would have not been over, but like you take one of those clean to the chest, bro, you're usually going down.
No rap cap. So respect to them boys, but damn, that was a good ass fight. I enjoyed it. And I think Kopylov is a hitter. Like, I don't think Soriano's no slouch either, but Kopylov is another Russian hitter in this division that's only going to rise and rise to stop.
And then our co-main event, Dan Ige 50K gets the KO finish over Damon Action Jackson. I had Ige money line, Ige by decision. The decision definitely didn't happen, but the money line paid out. There was just a different, like, Ige has fought the top of the top, and I'm not saying he looked great against them, but that's just who his normal tier of opponent is. And you try to throw him in somebody who's won 3 or 4 fights against nobodies, usually that difference in skill will show. And I felt like it definitely showed. Ige just showed that he was definitely the better fighter, and Jackson did not belong in the cage with him.
No, that Ige put on a master class early in this fight, and I think that's what really put this team together. I mean, Damon Jackson definitely got his hits in. I feel like if Ige's used to fighting the top of the top, and he allows that many hits, I can understand why he doesn't really beat the top of the top like that.
Or even
But
come close.
yeah, but at the end of the day, that's Dan Ige 50K, man. You got to pay my boy his bag. He came in and he got the knock. He got a KO. And it was off that smooth ass uppercut. I mean, left straight to the fuck straight down the middle. Didn't have to do nothing else. And when he said
Walk
yeah, the
away.
uppercut, that says yeah, the uppercuts. I understand, Paul. Like that was nice.
Them uppercut KOs are so nasty because when they land, there's usually no defense for it because someone's either throwing a shot and they get caught, or they're putting their hands out to block something and they don't realize the fucking uppercut's coming to knock their days out.
That shit is nasty, man. If I was a fighter, I would try to make the uppercut my signature. Like, oh shit.
I will say any person who doesn't have any fighting background experience and you get into a street fight, that person across from you is not expecting the uppercut.
Dead ass.
Take a step in, almost clinch area, where you're almost body to body. You could fucking close your eyes and just fucking go up with it. You're probably landing 90% of the time.
No cap, unless he watches the podcast. Now he knows the defense.
Yeah. But then on to our main event. This is all the French people stayed up for. It was a good ass fight. I mean, somewhat. Sean Strickland beats Imanov. I felt I gave him 4-3. I gave him 3 rounds for sure. I lean toward the four rounds for him, but I can understand if you give Imanov 2 rounds. But Strickland for sure won this fight. That motherfucker. Let's look at the total strikes thrown difference. 420 Strickland to 277 Imanov. Strickland is people love to call him a jab merchant. This meaning he just fucking jabs his way to victory. And like he doesn't, like I said, like Strickland would never, I don't think, KO somebody in the top tier or top 15, but he can get his decision wins. And that's exactly what I saw. He has the gas tank for 5 rounds, and he will just continually throw a lot of volume at you. And if, especially for these newer fighters or someone trying to crack the top 10, you're sometimes not ready for somebody who can literally throw 100 punches around every round. Like, and you may get the cleaner shots out of 2-3 of the exchanges, but you're just not throwing enough to sway judges. And that's what Sean Strickland, I felt like, showed.
And he can still get the takedown because he got the takedown and 4 minutes of control time.
He did get that takedown. He got the little trip on the leg, took him down. Like, yeah, it was a thing of beauty. When I saw him do that, I was like, damn, Sean Strickland's in his bag this fight. Like, oh, Imanov was not game prepping for a takedown.
I knew who picked Strickland? Your boy. Motherfucking, but it was a great fight. I think it was a good close fight. And like you said, it showed Sean Strickland is a jab. Like this, the jab merchant makes sense. He's gonna throw the volume of punches, and he's gonna make you fight all 4 rounds. And Imanov started off strong. Those first 2 rounds, I think you could definitely give it to Imanov. But like after that, Sean Strickland was like, "Hey, we don't slow down over here. Over here, that same energy I brought in the first round, I'm gonna bring them halfway to the end of the 4th round. I'm still gonna be hitting in the 5th round." And that's what he did. Like he just stayed on it, and he got a nice decision win. And like a lot of people could have argued with it, but they know this wasn't Imanov's best fight.
And you said it best. Like the first couple rounds, he looked best, and Imanov, his first ever 5-round fight, and I felt like that's what showed a lot of. He just was not prepped for 5 rounds, and that's why most of my bets, all my bets with Imanov, I never took a money line. All my bets with him was by KO. So I myself kind of knew, like, okay, if he wants to win this fight, it's gonna be knocking out Strickland, and most likely early because he just doesn't have that 5-round experience. I should have seen the Strickland by decision coming. I should have sprinkled a little bit on that. I don't know why I didn't, but I think this is just Strickland's bread and butter right here. This position of fighting. If he has to fight the top 3 guys and push for a title shot, I don't think it looks good.
Yeah.
But if he's fighting the newcomers, he's fighting people in the middle ranks because he's not getting title shots. That's the ones he's gonna beat, and that's when we're riding him hard. Like, oh, that's our boy Strickland. Like, oh yeah, he's gonna fuck him up. But then the moment he gets like the Robert Whittaker fight or something, or not the Robert, oh no, yeah, the Robert Whittaker fight or something, we're immediately just back off. It's like, okay.
What about Vettori?
I think Vettori will probably get him too.
Oh,
Just his wrestling is just too dominant. And Strickland's not a heavy 185er where I could be like, oh, he'll be able to get back to his feet easy. Vettori, I think, is bigger than him. So that would play a big role. So like Strickland, I think this is his best. Like let's just keep this in mind next Strickland fight. Let's not forget that Imanov's first ever 5-round fight, a younger fighter, probably has a lot to learn still. If Strickland gets canned up against a Vettori or something, let's remember, let's chill out. But oh, Strickland's coming off a win on short notice. Fucking badass. Fucking yeah. Oh, he's talking shit in the fucking face off. Oh yeah, bro. Let's just chill out for a second. Let's just remember the circumstances that came with this win this week.
Dead motherfucker. You put it better. You said it better than anybody could, man. And the coolest thing, the funniest thing about it is motherfucking. It was the interviews, the post conference. Like Frickson was low key talking that shit. I'm usually used to him just sounding crazy as fuck. He was like, "Nah, insurance. We got to get these fighters help. We got to look out for these fighters after they leave the octagon." I was like, "Oh, okay, talking shit, man."
Did you see Francis's interview on Ariel?
Oh, it was today. I thought it was tomorrow.
Special Tuesday episode for the immediate for Ariel best in the game, boy. I'm just gonna leave everyone. Once if you made it this far, you can leave this video. We're about to wrap up. Go check out the Ariel Francis thing. I will only thing I'm gonna leave you, Kev. I'm gonna leave everyone that's listening little breadcrumbs of what was on there was that boy Francis a fucking folk hero, all right? He Paul Bunyan, some may say, Moses, some may even say. He turned down $8 million contract so that because he's pushing for better fighter pay all around and health care for everybody. He could take the 8 million and make money himself and be rich, but how's that going to help everybody else?
Wow.
That boy turned down the money because he's really pushing. And if there's anybody, because to me, Francis is the equivalent of, I know he's a little older. Patrick Mahomes. If Patrick Mahomes was saying something like, "No, I'm not taking I'm holding out on my contract until something," because who's bigger than Francis in the UFC? There's nobody. Like Izzy sold the most last year, but I don't think Izzy's a bigger sell than Francis Ngannou, especially if it's against John Jones.
Hell yeah.
Like there's no one that's gonna be the bigger draw. So like that's the equivalent of that. Whoever is your top athlete in your sport is just like instead of me getting the biggest contract known to man in this sport, I'm gonna decline it and I'm pushing because I want some. And that's where the change will happen, I think. Because these middle people they don't got the leverage to do that. The low people don't got it. But if you can do it, and who knows, if you can talk to the African brotherhood that he has of Izzy and Usman, who are the 2 and 3 biggest draws, probably Francis, Izzy, and Usman are probably the top 3 draws in the UFC. If they're willing to hold out together, bro, we could be seeing a momental, this huge moment in UFC right now. MMA all around.
That'd be interesting. I don't think the boys give a fuck about being champions for like. Don't get me wrong, they care about winning and they want to get their belts back. But I think if they were to get their rematches and both win, because Kamaru got Kamaru and
Leon, that shit's been confirmed, and Izzy and Alex hasn't been confirmed yet, but Izzy did get face tattoos.
Yeah, so like you know what time it is.
Yeah.
So if they were able to they were able to get their belts back and did the same thing, that would change the entire landscape of this sport right now.
And all it took was Francis to do it because no one wants to be the first. But if someone else sees someone else do it and they're in the same position and they can at least talk to that person and do deliberate. But okay, I'm going to do the same thing as you. We're going to have Dana White by the balls.
$8 million a fight. That's crazy.
And that's, I believe, just the show. So, you get double that if you win.
Damn.
It may have been 8 million guaranteed, and he probably gets pay-per-view points. You get all that other money too. So and it was a lot of like the sponsorship because he also was pushing I'm leaving you all the breadcrumbs. go watch the Ariel Helwani special Tuesday episode with Francis Ngannou. He breaks it all down and lets you know why he is doing what he's doing. And no, it's not because he's scared to fight John Jones. And no, it's not because they're not paying him enough money. It has to do with something a lot bigger than just that. So thank you for watching the episode. This is Paul, Pickle William Contra. That was Kev, street fight enthusiast Savoy. We broke down UFC Vegas 67, Strickland Imanov. There's bigger things on the horizons. We're telling you to go watch it now. And if y'all didn't know, well, now y'all know. This has been Totally Blitz Podcast.
Got a problem with being problematic. Get the light beam on me, ready for electrostatic. Don't you step into this box if you're not batting. Then my gang got tools, you can call them boy crap. Man, this gang got rules, man, you better watch your passes. This ain't not new, and it's some accent. All I say is